Get ready as Excite Wrestling presents Fight Club at the American Legion Post 80 on 76 Main Street in Binghamton, New York. Featuring unprofessional Jimmy Jacobs versus Joe Gacy. Also, Joey Ryan versus Dick Justice. And for the Excite Championship, Sean Carr will be facing Austin Aries. Get your tickets today at excitewrestling.com/shop or catch it live on twitch.tv/excitewrestling.
Today's episode is brought to you by Gamefly, and for listeners of the show, Gamefly is offering an exclusive 30-day free trial that's one game out, and all you have to do to take advantage of this awesome offer is go to gameflyoffer.com/gimmick. Again, that's gameflyoffer.com/gimmick. And let's get to the show.
This podcast is scheduled for one fall.
Whoa, who let you out of the basement? Let me do this. This podcast is scheduled for one fall, and I'm still not reading any of this other crap you wrote, so just click your buttons and start the show.
Welcome all to another installment of the Gimmick Table. Thank you for listening. I'm your host, Matt. As always, across from me, presented to you in Dolby Digital Sound, he is the Rick James to my Charlie Murphy. What say you, Bats?
What do the five fingers say to the face?
You're not going to slap me, so just stop. Okay? No, you're across the table. Nobody believed that. You can't sell. This kid can't sell. But somebody who can sell, we're going to get to him a little bit later on in the episode, is our guest today, Barrington Hughes. We have the opportunity to sit down with him today, kind of look at his journey through pro wrestling and the Florida wrestling scene. We're going to take a look at that as well, see how he got there, see where he's going.
Yeah, I hope you guys are ready to get a little crazy on this episode.
And remember, everybody, you can get all our content at gimmicktablepod.com and iTunes. Our site is brand new. Just gave it a whole new layout, so we hope you enjoy that and get all our episodes, see all our cover arts. And we're starting our December giveaway, which is going to give you the chance to win an 8x10 autograph photo of Cody Rhodes. We're going to have 4 episodes throughout the month of December. Throughout each of those episodes, we're going to give you a keyword that you can go ahead and enter at our website at gimmicktablepod.com. So that's 4 chances to win right there. Also, if you are one of our Patreons, which is as low as $1 a month, you will get an additional entry. And if you give us a review on iTunes or Google Play Music, you will also get an entry. And for more information on the contest, just go to gimmicktablepod.com after you hear the keyword, and you'll be able to enter and have a chance to win some awesome prizes. And this is something we're going to continue to do because without you guys, this show is impossible. So we want to give something back to you, helping me go through a table, going to help Bats get his first tattoo. You guys, wonderful people. Thank you so much. So make sure you subscribe on iTunes, listen to us on gimmicktablepod.com. And we want to tell you about some really cool wrestling events coming up outside of the one you heard at the top of the show. On December 17th, we have Iconic Heroes of Wrestling Excellence presenting Jeremy's Birthday Bash. For all of you who don't know, Jeremy is the Making Towns guys. He's a huge supporter of the show, so we definitely want to support anything that he's a part of. So make sure you spend his birthday with him and enjoy some awesome wrestling. And you can join the celebration at the El Gran Saloon Event Center on 8105 Camp Bowie West in Benbrook, Texas. The doors are going to open at 5 p.m. Bell time is 6 p.m. You're going to get your tickets for $25 for front row, $20 for ringside, and $15 for general admission. You can purchase your tickets at squareup.com/store/IHW. And we also want to tell you again about the Making Towns Classic and their front row package deal for $45. That's going to be going on through January 2nd, 2018. It's going to get you admission to both shows taking place on May 12th, 2018. The first one at 3 p.m., the second one at 7:30 p.m., all at the Nashville Fairgrounds. You're not going to want to wait till January 2nd, though, because supplies for these front row packages are limited, and they are selling out fast. So to take advantage of this awesome deal, you're going to want to purchase your tickets through PayPal at mikehales57@gmail.com. If you have any questions, you can contact them on Twitter at the MT Classic. And you're also going to want to follow them on Twitter because they still have 12 more participants to announce in this amazing tournament of 16 of the best women in professional wrestling. So make sure you check that out. And I think it's about that time, Bats, where we get to our guest today. Are you ready, Bats?
I'm excited.
All right, let's get this going. Please, everybody, join us in welcoming to the Gimmick Table. He is Barrington Hughes. How goes it today?
I'm good, gentlemen. How y'all doing?
We're doing good.
Well, yeah, we're doing okay after the little, flood in my kitchen. Everything is copacetic. But
Good.
Yeah, Matt gave his kitchen a shower.
I didn't. I was at work when the shower occurred. The faucet, the pressure went and blew water all over the place. And I got a phone call while I was at work saying that I needed to get home immediately to come fix it. Luckily, my girlfriend's smart enough to figure out where the valve was and save the day herself and didn't need me to do it.
Nice. That's good. You got a smart girlfriend now.
3 cheers for her. I lucked out there.
Indeed.
I get brownie points for this episode. All right. Look, you got to listen to this one. You actually got mentioned in a positive light. Last week, I'm pretty sure she got chalked up to beating me.
Well,
No, you don't get the beatings tonight. You just get to sleep on the couch. That's all.
Aw, way to bring my home life into this, Barrington.
maybe she'll let you curl up on the floor in the bedroom since you came and cleaned up the water.
With a little kibble treat.
There you go.
Now, before we get into anything wrestling related, the one thing you did tell me is that when you're not in the ring, handing out inverted Samoan drops, you do like to frequent museums. What kind of museums do you enjoy to go to?
Anyone that's local. I haven't been to too many out of Florida. One of my favorites was actually the World Erotic Art Museum in Miami, for obvious reasons. As a kid, I used to love the Museum of Discovery and Science in Fort Lauderdale and the IMAX Theater, stuff like that. So I always look for different stuff to do in the area.
So tell me more about this exotic museum, because I've never heard. I can assume what it's about, but what is this?
Exactly what you think.
Exactly what I think it is?
Basically, long story short, sex is the most profound thing that all humans share. So it's like you're taking all these forms of artwork, celebrate love, fidelity, infidelity, polygamy, monogamy, and put it in one building. It's fucking awesome.
Now, what would you say is your favorite piece in that museum?
My favorite piece is this really huge golden dick. Where it's a huge golden dick, and it's so large it almost looks like a throne. And you can sit on it and take pictures. It's amazing.
Is there a picture of you with it?
No, but I've seen pictures on it. I didn't take a picture on it, but it's that big to where you can sit on it like a throne.
Now,
it just engulfs you.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that the original design for Game of Thrones?
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
Well,
but yeah, censors and such that they weren't going to let that fly. So
really, that the golden dick chair doesn't get in there, but everything else made it into Game of Thrones. Okay.
I mean, it could have been in Spartacus too. So hey.
Well, the next time I'm in Florida, I know where I need to visit. And not so much that I'm into, erotic museums or anything, but I mean...
But you are into giant golden dicks.
I'm not into... Well, I wouldn't say I'm into them. It's just they just happen to be around and you spectate and stare like Godzilla.
Excuse me, we're going to take a moment.
Stare like Godzilla. That's a good one.
Stare like Godzilla. And I believe he was referring to me in regards to the reference to the golden dicks. I don't think he meant you.
But you did get a little defensive about it, so
Me? Or him? Oh, this is telephone interviews, man. All right, now, so speaking of Florida, you primarily wrestle out of Florida. Expand on for us. We're from New York. What the independent wrestling scene is like for down there.
It's really rich. It's a lot of wrestling, a lot of great wrestling. There's some not so great wrestling, few and far between, but for the majority, it's awesome talent, young talent that's really springing up now. The old guard is kind of more passing the torch along, and you're really starting to see the new guys, that new wave, really take over the scene, and it's awesome.
Kind of elaborate on that for us. What are we seeing in that new scene? What is the style?
You're seeing a lot more of the young, athletic, smaller guys take over. A few bigger guys like me that really showed that it's not just a small guy sport again. We're starting to come back around to that large man physique, to those bigger guys that can bring the crowds in, that are attractions, that are be larger, literally larger than life, i.e. myself. But yeah, stuff like that. It's really cool, man. I'm really enjoying it right now.
And compare, have you been able to travel outside of the state of Florida?
Definitely. I've been to Chicago. I had the opportunity to wrestle in Illinois, in Philly, and North Carolina, Georgia, a few states.
And how do those compare?
How they compare, I would say North Carolina, they, bar none, probably has some of the best independent wrestling talent in the country right now. I don't care what anybody says. They have excellent storytellers out there, athletic guys, big guys. It doesn't matter. They have great guys that fit every mold. Georgia, they're more traditional. They're more rooted in their classic Southern brawling style, but you have a lot of great talent coming out of there. Illinois, I didn't get a chance to see too much of it, but it's great talent out there. You have Willie Richardson at the Jazz, Marshy Rocket, Mojo McQueen. You have a lot of really talented guys coming out of there as well.
Nice. All right, so when did it all begin for you? When were you first introduced to professional wrestling?
I was 3 years old. I was watching, I believe it was Superstars. It was one of the Saturday morning episodes. I don't remember the name of the show, but I remember seeing Undertaker for the first time and losing my shit. I was so scared. But that's one memory that stands out for me. The day I fell in love with wrestling, I was 7 years old watching Razor Ramon versus the 1-2-3 Kid when the Kid finally beat Razor.
Yep.
And that's what did it for me.
Now, we did get an opportunity to watch a promo video that you had put on YouTube. And in this, you talk about a man who while biologically was not your father, was your father. And he had a big role in bringing wrestling into your life. How did he do that?
Oh, man, you're talking about Pops, man. That was my grandfather. He didn't live in Florida at the time. He lived in New York, but when I did have the chance to visit him in New York before he moved down, we always, traveled all over New York. Wherever restaurant we would go to eat, make sure wrestling was on the TV, or we would watch it at home, or, he really introduced me to wrestling and gave me an appreciation for it because he loved it so much. As we both got older, we were able to sit down and talk about the stories and talk about, different contexts of wrestling. And, when I decided that I wanted to pursue it, he let me know. He's like, live your life with no regrets. Do what you want. Don't hurt people on the way up, and just do everything to the best of your ability.
Now, with that being said, and looking back at it now and through your career, how important were those words to you so far, and have you kept true to those?
I really, really have, as much as I can, and I know I can push further. And, he's always told me, put your best foot forward. And almost every opportunity I've given, I put my best foot forward. Have I stumbled? Absolutely. Am I perfect? Not at all. We all have our good days, we all have our bad days, but I can't say there's anything in wrestling that I regret that I've done so far. Are there things that I haven't done that I regret? You can't really regret it if you haven't done it. Maybe that opportunity hasn't come about yet. Maybe that time hasn't come about yet. There's a time and a place for everything. But I just know when those opportunities are there, I need to be well prepared. And that's one thing I try to keep in mind.
And what are some of the ways that you remain prepared?
Well, believe it or not, I actually go to the gym. I don't look like it, but I go to the gym at least 3 times a week. I do a lot of heavy, more powerlifting style workouts, and do some strongman conditioning, kettle walks, and farmer walks, do kettlebell workouts, things like that. Just things to keep me going, keep the motor running. I'm constantly watching, videos of various styles of wrestling, just to learn about them. I may not be able to perform everything in the ring, but know how to adapt, how to adjust, and how to be a better wrestler and better performer, in those situations.
Now, you say you may not look like you go to the gym, but if you watch any of your matches, you come with a lot of fire and intensity, and you don't look like you're a winded fat guy out there, man.
Oh, thank you, man. It's something, and that I have to attribute to one of my good friends, man, Mosey Kamau. He's a wrestler that came out of Detroit, 18 years strong in the business, and he's such an intelligent person, an intelligent human being, a good person, and he's never given up on me. He's always one person we'll be in the gym, and I'm doing squats or whatever, and he's like, "Come on, you can get one more rep out." And I'm tired, and I'm exhausted. He's like, "You got to give me one more." And then get that one more, and then he's like, "Push one more." He's always pushing my limits and letting me know that I can always go one step further beyond what I think I can do. So I'm eternally grateful for him for that.
And folks, I can attest that because he did mention some of the matches that we got an opportunity to watch, but there is one of those videos out there also of you doing the deadlifts and the leg squats, and you're moving a lot of weight. So there's no doubt that when you hit somebody, it's not gonna feel too good.
Yeah, I'm simply defending myself. I'm not the aggressor. Simply defending myself. That's all.
No, you just happen to be in the ring and somebody attacks you.
Yeah, that's how it works, isn't it? Yeah, that's how it works. We'll run with that narrative until somebody can prove otherwise.
So grabbing people by the hair and slapping them in the face, that's just self-defense?
That is self-defense to the nth degree.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure one of the videos we watched, you slapped somebody so silly they flipped over.
I got nothing. That's all right.
I mean, I feel like that is not a move that somebody who is acting in self-defense is going to use. That's more of an aggressor.
Me? Listen, I'm a highly intelligent, self-capable human being. Why would I be the aggressor?
Well, I've never once questioned your intelligence, but, doesn't mean intelligent people cannot, perpetuate violence.
In my defense, he talks shit about my mother. Just saying.
All right, you win. Right. I can't argue with that. You win.
Well,
it's automatic self-defense at that point. Everything from that point on.
Thank you, gentlemen.
In fact, you didn't slap him hard enough, and I'm kind of disappointed in you.
Yeah. I feel like you could have done better.
Yeah, seriously? Why is he still alive?
Well, murder is usually frowned upon in professional wrestling, as is American society.
I'm pretty sure.
And with the whole political climate, it doesn't work too well in my favor. So.
Fair enough. Yep, we can't argue with that point either. I have a new lawyer, Bats.
I really need a lawyer, just in case something happens, because you guys are really trying to paint me in a bad picture, and it's not fair to me. Being a victim of circumstance that just so happened to throw a slap, it's not fair to me that you're painting me as the aggressor when that was not the case.
I'm just stating a possibility.
Possibilities and facts and hypotheticals, it's a gray area, don't really work too well.
We here at the Gimmick Table do not deal in alternative facts. I can guarantee you that.
And for the record, your buddy Benji tried to play the whole victim card the last time we interviewed him. So
yeah.
Hey, I can't speak for Benji. I love him to death. He's my brother, but he's the aggressor. If anyone is the aggressor, it's him. I just follow suit. There you go.
All right, we're gonna take it to a more happy-go-lucky interview here. Take it back a little bit. When you were a child, who were some of the wrestlers that you easily connected with?
As a young guy, I love still to this day, Razor Ramon, one of my favorites. Farouk, Johnny B. Bad. These are all wrestlers when I was younger. As I got older, I started doing the tape trading, and I discovered Gary Albright, Great Sasuke, Hayabusa, Cactus Jack, all that fun stuff. Those are Vader, Bam Bam Bigelow. As now that I'm in the mold, these are all different phases of wrestlers that I relate to. But each of them influenced me in some way, somehow.
Which one would you say influenced you with that fire and intensity?
And that aggression?
I gotta say it's a combination of Bam Bam and Vader, man. Now, one that as far as the throwing people over my head stuff, all credit is due to Gary Albright. I have to say it. In every interview I do, I mention him because he's an unsung big man and an unsung hero of professional wrestling. He really is. I wish there was more tape of him out there, but he is absolutely amazing.
And what was it about him specifically that you were able to connect to, or have been able to connect to?
Well, the fact that he was 6'5", 350 pounds, and a legitimate collegiate wrestler that could do things with the human body that most guys his size couldn't dream to do was that's dope. That's really cool. He's doing neck bridges and the types of suplexes and the types of manipulation he was able to do with his own body, much less his opponent, was a sight to behold.
And how do you try to bring that into your own wrestling?
I'm not as flexible as Gary, but I definitely try to bring that intensity, show that big men can be technical and show skill outside of just being powerful, instead of just throwing people, show technique, show that we can wrestle and grapple with the best of them despite our size.
And then how did this all begin for you? When did you go from being a spectator to an actual participant, starting your training?
I started my training December of 2010. I actually got with Rusty Brooks, South Florida legend. Love Rusty to death. He had a school in his backyard, to be honest, and he had a school prior. He brought the ring to his backyard and started training his students there. I was able to hear through the grapevine and find some information to start attending, and it took off from there.
All right, so take us through that first day of training.
Oh, shit. Okay. Get there, first day of training, and I have on these black and yellow track pants. Now, keep a pin in that because it's going to be important later on in the story.
Black and yellow track pants?
Were they snap pants?
No, they weren't snap. But it's important to the story. So.
Those are very aggressive colors.
like a bee or a hornet.
Yeah, so I'm there, and I'm learning how to take my first bumps, and every time it was time for me to do something, you always heard somebody in the back, black and yellow, black and yellow. So I'm like, oh, shit, here we go. So that was it. Right. That was the theme of the entire day. Anytime black and yellow, and it annoyed the hell out of me.
Oh, man.
That's how they screw with the new guy. It was just, just mess with them, tease them, and let's see what happens. Let's see if we can break them. But it was really cool. It was really cool.
Now then you go ahead and debut in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking right before you enter the ring?
I hope I don't fuck this up. I really hope I don't fuck this up. My first match was actually against one of my trainers in Flex Magnum. I had done maybe like one other battle royal prior to this a few months ago, and then they decided, hey, we're gonna give you your first match. At this time, it was about a year removed from when my grandfather passed away, so it was really kind of a bittersweet day. When I found out I was gonna have my first match, I had the match, dedicated the match to my granddad, and it was as bad as one could have thought. I thought it was great at the time, but now 6 years removed, you're like, so bad. So bad. I was really nervous. I was contemplating everything, thinking about every single thing I did. But, if it wasn't for step one, we wouldn't be at step N that we are now.
Right. You got to go through those times to have any kind of progress and further yourself in your career. There's always got to be a first match for everyone.
Mm-hmm. That's where you make your mistakes, and you're always going to make mistakes. You're always going to learn. If you stop learning, stop wrestling. Seriously, just stop. If you can't learn, if you feel like you can't improve, you can't get better, you can't learn, there's nothing here for you. Go away.
Can't argue with that. And what would you say from that first match? I know that it was just the beginning of your career, but what was the most important lesson that you took away from that experience?
To me, the most important thing that I learned that day?
Yes.
Treat everyone with respect. Treat everyone the way you want to be treated. Because, we're all doing something. We're all working towards an end goal, to be entertainers, to put on a great show. And having respect for your fellow performers is paramount in working toward that end goal.
Yeah, and from all these interviews, we've heard, the whole wrestling community is a big, giant family. And you all want to get along together so you can put on better shows.
Yeah, we don't always get along, to be honest. It's a family. You're going to have your good days. You're going to have your bad days. You're going to have those days you want to choke each other. But at the end of the day, we're all we've got. We are a family, for better or for worse. We're a dysfunctional family. We're a functional family some days, but we are who we are. We're our brothers, our sisters. Or, we hold one another accountable for what we do and what we do.
So not quite the Gallaghers from Shameless, but also not like the Full House family. Exactly.
We're not the Waltons. We're not the Gallaghers. We're somewhere in between. I want to say the Belchers. Yes, the Belchers. There were.
That's a good one.
I was going to say the Connors,
The Connors work too.
Yeah.
The Connors work.
Everybody loves Roseanne.
Love Roseanne.
She's
exactly.
a huge wrestling fan too. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
She loves her wrestling.
Nice. Yeah, we're just a big family, man. Like, I consider, wrestlers that I haven't even met yet, but we get along really well. I call them my cousins, or if I've seen them close enough and we've shared a locker room together, you become my brother or my sister. We're just a family that, in some way, shape, or form, choose to be around one another because we all have the same end goal.
All right, now, so you've had success both in singles and tag competition. Do you have a preference there?
At first, when I broke in, I really wanted to be in a tag team because, more hands make lighter work. But then I eventually had to learn how to stand on my own as a competitor. So now it doesn't really matter to me. I don't have a preference per se anymore. I did when I first broke in. Now I'm like, any situation you give me, I'm going to, give it my all.
You were a part of the Hardliners.
I was.
You and Jordan Rayner, you were the Future of Wrestling Tag Team Champions. You do also happen to be a very big comic book fan, from what I understand. So if you guys were a comic book duo that would encompass the essence of the Hardliners, who would it be?
I got to go Deadpool and Cable.
Okay.
Got to go Deadpool and Cable.
Right.
Because I constantly break the fourth wall, and he's there. So.
Ouch.
I love you, Jordan. You know I love you. You know I kind of don't mean some of it sometimes.
Are you getting paid by Fox right now to plug the new movie?
Actually, I forgot about that. That's going to be dope. That's really going to be dope.
I'm super excited for that movie.
Hell yeah.
I got to go back and watch the first one again.
It was good. It was good. It did its job by introducing Deadpool in the correct way. It allowed people to forget X-Men Origins. It did its job.
Sort of, because they did have the part where they showed the action figure from the original movie.
That's the fourth wall, man.
That's the fourth wall. I know. The whole green, as long as it's not green and animated for the suit.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm super excited. That is the only superhero movie that I've enjoyed. Truly.
Which one is that? Deadpool?
Deadpool.
What could I say I enjoyed?
You got no hope for Infinity War here, either of you?
Thor 2 wasn't bad, but one that I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed. I can't say I really thoroughly enjoyed any of them.
Yeah, like Guardians, the first one. I haven't even seen the second one yet, but the first one was good.
It was really good. If anything, I would have to say I enjoyed Guardians. The X-Men movies, all of them felt like a chore to sit through. We don't talk about Green Lantern ever.
No.
Ever.
Oh, let's talk about Green Lantern right now.
No.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
I mean, it had Blake Lively in it.
No. Nope, not doing it. Nope.
I mean, that whole movie is what created the Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, romance that we have today.
It was so bad. It was so, oh my. Because I really like Green Lantern, and I was really excited about that movie. And then at the end of it, it's like, what the fuck?
It was so
What
cheesy.
happened?
So cheesy.
It was so bad. It was so bad. Not X3 bad, but it was bad. Right.
I don't know. To me, they're all the same movie at the end of the day. I literally watched the movie, and with every Avengers movie, it starts off, hey, we're all friends. Now something has torn us apart. But by the end of the movie, we all have to come together and stop something far greater than all of us.
You're describing the plot to literally every, buddy and group movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's literally the entire run of the Avengers.
Right. Mix it up.
That's all they do. They fight each other, they fight a greater evil. Fight each other, fight a greater evil, fight each other, fight the greater evil. Then the greater evil joins them and fights an even greater evil. That's essentially how it works.
Now, what about Star Wars? You Star Wars fan?
Oh, God.
I wouldn't say I'm super in-depth, but I'm a fan.
Yeah, I don't know why Matt, face-palmed over there. I'm not, the biggest Star Wars. I don't have posters of
Yes, you do.
Luke
Don't lie.
Skywalker hanging in my bedroom.
He has pictures of Mark Hamill wearing just a leaf over his bed.
That's not because he's Luke Skywalker.
No, it's not because he's like Luke Skywalker. It's because he's the voice of the Joker.
There you go.
That's how that works.
Yeah, that's the weird Joker, though.
It's the animated series
what?
Joker.
Isn't that the?
He's the animated.
But he's got the long hair. Which one is that?
No, this is the classic Batman animated.
Okay, all right.
The only Joker that matters. That is the only Joker that's lasted as long as it did. Everyone else has been a one-off. You cannot debate me on this. You cannot argue me at this. You cannot at me on this. Mark Hamill is the greatest Joker ever. Next subject.
All right.
What about Jack Nicholson?
Again, one off. If he reprised the role any other time, he would be in this debate. Mark Hamill took it in the original series, and he did several movies.
What about Heath Ledger?
And did Lego Star Wars.
I mean, Heath Ledger died being the Joker, man. You got to give him some credibility for that. He didn't have the opportunity to reprise the role because he went all in on the first role.
Yeah, that's fine. But still.
Do I win the argument?
Mark. That's exactly how that works.
You're being aggressive, sir.
Are you going to title this episode The Most Aggressive Man in America?
All right, we're going to give it to you. You're the guest. All right. Twitter, let us know.
I agree with you, so I'm fine with that.
I'm just messing with you.
There you go.
I got to play devil's advocate, you know. But back to the hardliners. How did that impact your...
It really taught me that you can be all about your team, but at the end of the day, you have to look out for yourself. You really have to look out for yourself, and you really have to be about self-preservation. You know, because I put so much of myself into the team to where when I found out things were going on, you know, I was really broken up about it. And then I had to take a step back and realize, hey, this isn't personal. This is a business. Start treating it like a business. Don't take someone else's decision to do something against what you originally want to do and make it personal. It's a business. I think that's what the hardliners taught me above anything else.
It seems like that would be kind of a struggle there with the wrestling, you know, family aspect, because, you know, if people are succeeding or, you know, things are getting out of your control, then, you know, you don't really have that support system anymore. You know,
and that's exactly what it was. You think somebody has your back, and then you realize something different, and it goes against what you originally thought. And it's like, I'm pissed off because this is what I thought it was going to be. And then you realize, well, that's life. It's not always what you think it to be. You have to adjust.
But that's how you get better. You know, you adapt, you move on, and you overcome.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Either that or fall by the wayside. And I wasn't planning on falling by the wayside anything.
You don't sound like that type, sir.
No.
No, the word I would actually use to describe you would not be aggressive, but it would be determined.
I appreciate that.
You seem to...
try to be.
Well, from what the conversations we've had briefly, this interview, and what I've seen, it seems to be that, you know, you brought it up in the promo going back to that, just how you do this for your mother and your grandmother, and how because of what they did, you are where you are now. And I think it's really awesome that you want to give something back to the people that sacrificed so much for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, when your mother is, you know, not, and I love you, Mom, don't take this the wrong way, please, when she's pretty much written off as a statistic and saying, well, you fall into this category, you can't get out of this balance. And she says, screw you, watch me do it and thrive. It's going to kind of put, you know, a chip on your shoulder and say, you know what, I can top you, Mom. Watch this.
I don't even see it almost so much as topping her, but you learned from watching her. She instilled the right values into you because of her experiences and what she had to do and how she decided to, like you said, she had a choice. She could have gone and been that statistic, or she could have forged her own path. She chose to forge her own path, and that rubbed off on you.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and, you know,
run your race.
She did what she had to do to provide for you and everything, and now you have your chance to live your dream and also do that for your family.
Absolutely. Absolutely. She gave her life to give me an opportunity, and I'm eternally grateful for it.
And it's awesome. Like I said, you know, determination. You go out there every day, you're trying your hardest, you know, to show that, you know, the lessons that you learned from her are there and that they are paying off years down the road from when they were first taught.
Definitely.
Now, you also spent time as the hardcore champion down in Future of Wrestling. So that's a little different kind of style of wrestling. What was that experience like?
Oh, I can sum that up right now. So, picture 2011, Hollywood. There's an event. The former champion holds an open challenge. Quick 5-minute match. You know, win the match. Boom. Immediately issue an open challenge. Rusty Brooks steps into the ring. From there, to put it lightly, that man has hands of stone. Like, literally, he socks me in the mouth, hits me with a stick, and it's done and over with. as quickly as I won the belt, as quickly as it's gone.
So 5 minutes?
So that's being generous. 5 minutes is being generous. But I can say that I think I would Lefty Brooks' last match.
Well, I mean, he must hit pretty hard then, because like we were talking before, you're a pretty big guy, so it must take quite a punch to put a hurting on you.
Oh yeah, he's always been known to have heavy hands, so yeah, it was really cool to share the ring with my trainer, and not so much to end up losing my championship. But what can you do?
Well, you couldn't have lost it to a better guy, right?
Exactly.
All right, short reign, but still a reign. Now, before we go any further, Barrington, we kind of talked about this earlier, and guys, we told you before the show that we are giving away a 8x10 autograph photo of Cody Rhodes, and Barrington here is going to give us the phrase that you're going to have to go to gimmicktablepod.com and use. It's going to be right on our main page. There'll be a link there for you. So go ahead and give us that phrase, Barrington. We have no idea what it's going to be.
The phrase to win is going to be Sling Blade.
All right.
Sling Blade.
All right, everybody, you heard it. The word of the day is Sling Blade.
All right, thank you for that, Barrington.
Can you give us a Sling Blade impression?
God, I haven't seen that movie in so long. That's all I got.
French fried potatoes.
Haters. Love that movie, though.
But you become friends with our good friend, Benjamin Banks. And you're also a part of the Fat Man movement.
Yeah.
In your words,
Absolutely.
give us the goal of the Fat Man movement.
The goal of the Fat Man movement is just to show that just because you don't fit a certain aesthetic doesn't make you any athletic, doesn't make you any less talented, doesn't make you any less of a professional wrestler than some of our smaller counterparts make it seem to be. In the past, I would say 10 to 15 years, wrestling has gone through a dramatic aesthetic shift from having various body types and sizes and shapes, from your Ricky Steamboats to your Adrian Adonises to your Hulk Hogan's to your Andre the Giant, to a very specific mode and model that was accepted as a professional wrestler. This is all that can be accepted. Nothing else can be, nothing else is, for lack of a better word, acceptable. With the Fat Man movement, we're just showing that, yeah, we have a little bit more size on us. We're not, Greek gods by any stretch of the imagination, but we're still just as capable, just as talented, and can put on quite the hell of a show if given the opportunity.
And like we said earlier, we got an opportunity to see some of your matches, and people listening, looks can be deceiving. Go check out some of his matches because you will be impressed.
Thank you.
Now, with that said, I'm only about 150 pounds, skin and bones. Can I join the Fat Man movement?
No.
No? Well, that's not fair. That's discrimination.
Let me answer your question with another question. Are you not a part of Western society?
Yes and no.
Why no?
Because I'm a vegan.
Bad answer.
It's a great answer.
Right?
So,
Horrible answer.
Terrible answer.
Why is that a
Throw
horrible answer?
Throw the whole host away. We're done here. So.
Oh, I got kicked off my own show.
Yes. Face the corner. But no, and to say that because in general society, people of a larger stature are looked down upon. This is known as fat shaming, body shaming, et cetera, bullying, whatever you want to call it. The Fat Man movement shows that, yes, you may try to, embellish on us that we have quote unquote flaws or things that you don't find pleasing, but we're still just as capable as anyone else, if not better than your smaller contemporaries. So yeah, you can't be a part of us. Sorry. We're the mean girls.
Well, that's not fair, man. I get picked on all the time, too.
Life isn't fair.
Well,
Nope.
we got to come together.
Like butt cheeks? Nah, son, I'm good. That's what it's all about. Take a moment. It's fine.
Hey, we're supporters of the Fat Man movement. I was just, pushing buttons.
150 pounds and vegan? Like, seriously. No.
Yeah, no chance.
Doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
No.
Do you know?
I'm 200 pounds. Well, a little more. We're not going to talk about that. I got weighed the other day at the doctor. And, I mean, I just broke 200 recently. So, I ate Wendy's today. What about me?
No.
Oh.
What's the requirement? Anybody looking to
The
join?
requirement, you got to be at least, me and Benji actually talked about this one day. You got to be at least 300. You got to be at least 6 foot. And you got to have some talent. You got to have charisma. You have to have something, some sort of redeeming quality to be a part of the Fat Man.
Well, I'm just awesome in general. That should get me in and bypass all other standards and requirements.
By who? Not I. Mm-mm, no.
I'm sure your fellow Fat Man Movement, Mr. Banks, would think I'm quite the Dapper Dan.
No. I
already have a Dapper Dan. He's adorable. I love him to death.
Fine, whatever. I'm starting my own movement, and you can't be a part of it.
because he's not a hipster or a vegan.
So
So
you're just gonna all lives matter my Fat Man movement? You're a scientist, sir.
all
You, sir, are a
vegans
scientist,
matter.
and you're a despicable human being. I spit at your grave.
Oh, wow.
Well, tone down the aggressiveness.
Unfortunately, there'll be no episode 22 of the Gimmick Table this week.
Shit's canceled.
We're done here. Okay, so the reason you're here, the wrestling. You just hit your 6-year mark since you debuted.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of touched on what was the most valuable thing you took away from your first match. What is the most important piece of knowledge you've gained since your debut?
Be humble. Honestly, be humble, be respectful, but be a man. Be an adult. Take ownership. Be responsible. Don't let people walk all over you. There's a time and a place to debate certain things. There's a time and a place to stand up for yourself, and you do it in a respectful way. You don't have to, kind of put your junk on the table and be like, well, I'm not doing this, because it's, do business the way business is supposed to be done. Because the same people that you see on the way up are the same ones you're going to see on the way down. And you don't want to step on toes on the way up, because those same toes will kick your ass all the way back down.
Now, with that being said, what would the Barrington Hughes of today say to the Barrington Hughes on his first day of training?
Tuck your chin, kid. This is going to be a bumpy ride. But besides that, don't be a self-righteous, pretentious douchebag on social media. Nobody cares. Seriously. Don't think that you're getting on this soapbox and think if you say all this eloquent bullshit, people are going to care. Yeah, they'll comment and they'll like, but it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Worry about positive things. Worry about the things that are going to make you better, not the things that are trying to tear you down, because the things that are more positive and that are building you up have a much greater power than things that you allow to break you down. That's pretty much it, man.
Those are some pretty insightful words, and I think, anybody listening, wrestler or non-wrestler, that's a good way to live your life by.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Now, who are some of your dream matches?
Oh, man. I would have to say off top, Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb is probably my number one right now. Super cool dude. And I really think we could have one hell of a match. I've seen it. I watched bits and pieces of his match with Keith Lee, and I was like, this has to happen now. This absolutely has to happen. He's a freak of nature as far as strength goes, and he's super just over the moon with talent that I think we can have one hell of a match. O'Shea Edwards, young guy out of Georgia that's super talented. Benji, of course, I want him as a partner and as an opponent. Wildman Congo, Congo Kong, Shane Strickland, Mr. Grimm, God, Yujiro Tanahashi from the Bullet Club, Tokyo Pimp versus the Caramel Kodiak, just because nobody says Yujiro Takahashi. That's why. God, who else? Brian Malone. Honestly, I just want to wrestle every single notable big man right now. Robert Dresker out of Germany, Avalanche, Walter, Killian Dane, Chris Silvio, God, Bob Evans, who I had the pleasure of being a part of his seminar about a week and a half ago, and that was really, really fun. Do I need to keep going? I can go all day.
You could. What did I tell you at the beginning, man? It's your platform. Talk away.
All right, I'll give you 5 more.
5 more. All right.
Okada, of course. Shinsuke Nakamura. Michael Elgin. 2 more. Lindsay Dorado. I have 1 more spot. You know what? I'll throw a whole group in there just for shits and giggles. I'll throw the Carnies in there.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Kerry Awful was a former guest of ours. Really good time with him. That'd be an interesting match. So a 2-on-1 situation?
Sure.
Handicap match?
Or you can tag me with Benji. Or we could just I can tag up with Benji and we can make it happen.
All right.
That would be fun.
Okay. I'd like to see him do that Force Destroyer on one of you guys.
Yeah.
Not happening.
If it happens,
horrible.
I'm going to be quite impressed. So, yeah, I don't know. Cut a promo on the Carnies right now.
Oh, man. All right. Hell's favorite carnival comes to town, huh? Gary Awful, Nick Iggy, Cassidy. I don't see the appeal. You guys wear your scary masks and your hats, and you say, "Come to the carnival. We'll take you to hell," and all this other absurd, bourgeois. But beyond the facade, beyond the stripes, beyond the dives, I see 3 scared little boys. I see 3 scared little boys that don't know who they truly are until they step in the ring with a man. A man that presents himself like a bear who will maul each and every one of you within an inch of your life. And when it's all said and done, then you'll know who you are and what you represent. Boys, welcome to Suplex Soiree.
Well, I don't know about you, Matt, but I just got chills.
I got some chills. Now, we are, fans of the carnival, so we're not taking sides on this one.
Nah, feel free.
Yeah, I'll even go as far as to say you better be careful or they might make you their dancing bear.
Nah, doubt it. You have to catch me first.
All right, you heard it, guys. Challenge. Make him your dancing bear. You also say that you're, I believe it's every MILF's favorite wrestler or MILF's favorite wrestler?
MILF's favorite wrestler.
All right.
That's right.
Why are you MILF's favorite wrestler?
Because it seems like every time I go to a show, there's always somebody's mother throwing their underwear at me or trying to give me a kiss or something along those lines. So, with that being said, I just became MILF's favorite wrestler. And just so happens that a majority of these young at heart women that love me are quite attractive. So why not run with it?
And how do these fans feel when their mothers are throwing their underwear at you?
Hell, I don't know. I'm not paying attention to that.
It's got to get you some heat.
It probably does. Don't have heat with me. Put it on your mom, yo. She's the one that threw her drawers at me. I just simply caught him with my teeth.
Oh, brother.
I think I got a few websites you could guest spot on.
Ah, nice.
So, more serious question here.
All right.
You might have already answered part of this. How do you want to be remembered by your contemporaries as well as the fans?
I honestly want to be remembered as a big man that didn't fit the traditional big man mold, in a way where I was well spoken. I always try to be as entertaining as possible and try to be outside of the box as far as the presentation of a big man wrestler. As far as my contemporaries, I want to be known as someone that's always had, good things to say, honest things to say, never hesitated to help anyone if I could. I've always believed in paying it forward, and I hope that legacy continues once I'm gone.
Do you have any idea of what you'd want to do when, you hang your boots up to be still a part of wrestling?
If I have enough skill and ability, I would love to be able to open my own school and teach. If I'm blessed with the opportunity to do so, I would definitely want to keep that tradition going.
I mean, you sound like you would be a good teacher. You have a lot of good mentalities to get, put forth.
Thank you. But yeah, that's basically really what I want to do. Like, when it's all said and done, I want to be able to teach and just pass knowledge on, man, because that's, at the end of the day, wealth doesn't move on. Cars and material things don't, but knowledge and wisdom do. And it's like, if I could pass that on, I've lived my life, man. I'm happy.
Exactly. There's a lot, you can buy a house or you can buy a book and you're going to get far more value out of the book than you're ever going to get out of the house.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that book's going to keep you warm in the winter.
My point being is you don't need a mansion. You can buy a nice house for a reasonable cost. You don't need to be extravagant. You can spend all that money on something like books where you're going to take something from it and you're going to grow and not just have a big old house filled with nothing.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I want to punch my co-host in the face right now.
Whatever you say, Bell.
It's okay. He's just not one of those that gets it.
Right,
That's fine.
he's very, the status quo, social norms, square.
Yeah, that's me.
Squarest man I've ever met. He's got kind of a square head.
People. I understand.
Yeah, you should see him actually when he has short hair. He has it looks like, you ever remember the Legos when you would pop the hair on their head? That his hairline almost is exactly that of a Lego person's when they have the little fake hair on. So he grew his hair.
So it's not
He's referring to sometimes I get it edged up a little bit.
Yeah, and it looks like there's a box on his head. It's square. He is the definition of a square.
Well, Cost Cutters is not the best place to get an edge up.
Well, I mean, maybe he's just spray painting the edges of his scalp. You don't know.
He's been balding for years and doesn't want to tell anybody.
Don't give away those secrets, man.
Oh.
So how can our listeners get a hold of you on social media?
All right. So let's start prattling off, shall we? Facebook, B Hughes Wrestling. Twitter, @Hughesy Instagram, @TheRealHughesy Snapchat, Hughesy-Poo. YouTube, search Barrington Hughes Wrestling. I don't have a Reddit. Do I have a Reddit? Maybe there's one out there about me. I don't have a Reddit. But yeah, those are the best ways to get a hold.
When will we be able to see you in the ring again?
December 5th, Real Pro presents Allegiance in Fort Myers, Florida. December 7th, MLW presents Never Say Never in Orlando, Florida at Guild Nightclub. December 9th, Sweetwater Wrestling Fan Fest in Sweetwater, Florida. And then I think that's it for 2017. I'm going to spend the rest of the year with family. January 6th, I'm back in Deerfield Beach for Blueprint Pro Wrestling's first show. The following week, I'm in Hollywood for Brainbuster Pro. The week thereafter, I'm in Seminole, Florida for Full Throttle Pro against former TNA star Rob Terry. So that's going to be fun. And yeah, so far so good. Not the rest of my matches haven't been announced yet, but that's what I have for now.
All right, sounds good. Well, we wish you the best of luck through 2017, and we hope 2018 is even better than this year's been for you. Now, at this part of the show, my lovely co-host Bats is going to unhinge the gimmick table, and we're going to play a little game. Take it away, Bats. Uh-oh.
I mean, yeah, we call it a game every time, but it's just more of like fun talking.
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, we opened the show with your museum frequenting. We actually couldn't come up with a word for what
do
you call people that go to the museum a lot. Purveyors, or I don't know.
Well, purveyors works.
Is that Matt said that wasn't right, but I thought I was right. Anyways, so we're gonna go with Night at the Museum tonight. Have you ever seen the movie?
I've never seen it. No.
No. All right. Perfect. But, however, these are all historical figures anyway. So you'll just have to give me your favorite wrestler you think that fits this historical figure's persona.
Okay.
All right. So we'll start off with Attila the Hun.
Ooh, Killer Khan.
All right. So Akhman Ra, he's like a pharaoh guy.
Oh, a pharaoh guy.
Yeah.
Pharaoh guy.
You know about them pharaoh guys, right?
Yeah, like pyramids and Egypt,
Illuminati, aliens, ancient civilizations.
Yeah, all that.
That's where it all started.
All that jazz.
Yeah.
Who would remind me of a pharaoh? God. There's a guy in Florida by the name of Orion Shaw. Him.
All right, Ryan, you are the pharaoh
guy.
The pharaoh guy.
Pharaoh guy.
Orion Shaw. Yeah, that's good.
Christopher Columbus.
Oh. Vince Russo.
That was good.
You done?
Yep.
Yeah, Matt?
Yeah, I'm done.
No, Matt's like on the floor now.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
That was a good one.
That's all I'm saying.
That was a good one.
Octavius is like the Roman guy.
Mm-hmm. Octavius. Octavius. Give me a little bit more about Octavius. Give me a little bit more insight. Or are we just doing name association?
I mean, I think I don't know if there's definitely a real guy named Octavius that I'm just mind-boggling me right now, but like a Julius Caesar type guy.
Mind-boggling because you don't know who Octavius is, so you just happen to
right.
forget.
He tries to bullshit his way through, like, he's a Roman guy, yeah.
Yeah, like Caesar, man. I don't know.
Gotta go. We'll go Chase Owens.
So you think he's like some dictator type? That's what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
You don't even know who the guy is.
Stand up, dude. Stop putting words in my mouth.
All right. Teddy Roosevelt. Now,
Me.
a little. You?
Whoa.
Oh, come on. No, Teddy. All right.
Why?
Yeah. Why?
Because I said so.
No, this is this part is an essay question.
Yeah.
Short answer.
Oh, now it's an essay question
Yeah,
because I put it on myself.
This
How
one's
does
short
this work?
answer.
Wait a minute. This table is rigged.
Hey,
No,
who's
no,
making who's giving the test, the exam here? Who is the professor?
I plead the fifth.
Well, this is not the U.S. Constitution has no bearing on the gimmick table, sir.
Yeah, we are our own entity. We are casting out of foreign waters.
Yeah, we are actually in international waters right now.
All right, so you just got no answer for you're Teddy Roosevelt. Fine.
I got her covered though for this week's episode.
I'm gonna say it's because you are a teddy bear. All right, and last but not least, oh, you're not even gonna get this because you haven't seen the movie, but it's a T-Rex skeleton that comes to life and acts like a dog. So his name's Rexy.
Benjamin Banks. Yeah.
I was just gonna say.
BJ Murdoch.
That's not you?
That's not me.
No. You're Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah, that's right.
BJ Murdoch is my. If you had a chance to look it up, the Heavy Hearts. He's my tag team partner. BJ Murdoch.
All right, loyal companion.
Mm-hmm. That and he's housebroken, so that works.
Yeah, you don't need any, feral T-Rexes running around your apartment. That can cause for some
You don't
issues.
need feral T-Rexes running around anywhere.
Exactly.
I saw a great tweet the other day. Somebody he's like, I'm really sad that dinosaurs are no longer around because I'm fascinated by them so much, but I'm also really happy that dinosaurs aren't around because they're terrifying.
They are.
Yeah, like could you imagine?
But, they could have been domesticated eventually.
I mean, that's a myth. That is a myth that cavemen domesticated dinosaurs.
Okay, yeah, it's some Illuminati, stuff coming down from.
This is not the land before time.
The Flintstones were not the Illuminati, okay? They were the Freemasons. Moving on.
It's all connected, man. It's all
Yeah,
one.
have you ever played
world
Assassin's
order.
Creed?
Yeah, man.
It's all the same.
Yeah, I played the first one, yeah.
Yo,
It gets deep.
We're
man.
just
It
waiting
gets
for our
deep.
invitation here at the Gimmick Table to the Illuminati. We are totally ready, guys, to sacrifice
Wait, you haven't gotten yours in the mail? I
our
got mine
sound
yesterday.
guy to whatever satanic ritual we need to get on the inside and make this the #1 wrestling podcast.
He's a
in the
fresh
world.
little millennial.
I'm pretty sure he's a virgin.
Oh, wow.
What?
Why not Mike? He kidnapped Bets. That's worse.
He runs the Twitch stream. Moose would not be happy with me.
I feel like you have more like mass appeal if we murder you.
Oh.
We'll take it.
And you're leaving us for Disney.
Yeah.
That is kind of.
Oh, that's like a perfect cover up too. He's like, "Oh, Mom, I'm going to Disney."
Yeah.
And she never sees you
Disney.
again.
Ancient blood sacrifices. All right. Well, Barrington, I don't know if this makes you an accomplice, but oh well.
What are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't.
You know exactly what we're talking about.
No, what?
Oh,
What?
yes,
What?
yes, yes.
¿Qué? No te entiendo. Yo no hablo inglés.
Wow. I didn't know this whole interview that we understood Spanish, Bats.
Yeah. We did this whole interview in Spanish.
We're bilingual.
Sí.
What?
Muy bien.
What am I looking for?
Mucho gusto. Me llamo Bradley.
Hola, gringo.
Oh, wow.
Tu estás en un muñeca.
I'm offended. Well, Barrington, that's all the questions that we have today. Thank you for joining us on the Gimmick Table. While you were slightly aggressive, it was a wonderful time, and we had a lot of fun with you. Thank you for really just taking the silliness of this episode to a whole new level with us. We really enjoyed it.
No problem, man. I really appreciate you guys for having me on, and y'all have a great night, all right?
You as well.
Absolutely. You too, man.
All right, everybody, that does it for our interview today with Barrington Hughes. And thank you again to Barrington Hughes for what was quite an interesting interview right from the get-go. Your thoughts, Bats?
That was a really fun time.
I had a lot of fun. We started a little late. The flood kind of delayed us a little bit. We had a couple of technical difficulties, so things sound a little funny even after the post edit. We apologize. And you heard it today, folks, how you can win an 8x10 autograph photo of Cody Rhodes. All you gotta do is go to gimmicktablepod.com. Right there on the main page, you're gonna see the link on how to enter our contest. All you gotta do is fill out the form with the required information. And if you listen to the show, you know exactly how to do that. Also, if you are one of our Patreons, which is low as $1 a month, you are automatically given one additional entry into this contest. And keep in mind, you'll be able to enter with the keywords through our next 3 episodes through December as well. You can get 5 chances to enter this contest for this photograph, so got a better chance the more you listen. Join our Patreon for $1, get another opportunity there. And if you subscribe, download on iTunes, another thing you'll be able to do is put your review name in there that you gave us on iTunes, and it doesn't have to be a 5-star review to go ahead and get you another entry. I'm sorry, but a lot of podcasts, they go out there saying, oh, you get an entry if you give us a 5-star review.
Well, don't say give us a 5-star review. Don't say it doesn't have to. Don't be like, well, we prefer a 4-star if you're going to do something.
We are a 4-star review podcast. Let's be honest with ourselves here, okay? No, but seriously, if you give us a review as well, there'll be an option there. You just put in the name, we'll confirm the review. And keep in mind, not only for this month, but that'll continuously get you an entry into our contest going forward as well. So make sure you subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and we can also be found on YouTube. Follow us on social media. We're on Twitter at @gimmick_table and on Facebook and Instagram as well at Gimmick Table. And we have our great friends out there, some good podcasts that we love listening to. So we're going to tell you about them at this time, as we always do. We got our friends over at the Wrestling Nerds Alliance. They can be found on Twitter at WNA Podcast, Facebook as well, just by searching Wrestling Nerds Alliance. And they can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Podbean. Take it away, Bats, with the next.
Seriously, what is in, anyways, guys, give it up for the former kings of the Periscope. That is Wretched Wrestling. You can find them on Twitter at Wretched Wrestle, Facebook at Wretched Wrestling, or catch them on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube,
You're gonna have to redo
and
that.
Podbean. Periscope. No, we're leaving the laugh track in.
In case if anybody understands why I'm laughing, as I was drinking my coffee, I spit coffee all over myself. And because the cup was still in my mouth as I was spitting up the coffee, it went all over my face. So I am currently covered in coffee, but that will not deter me from telling you about S Marks the Spot. Great podcast, the real kings of the Periscope. And they can be found on Twitter at SMarkSpot. Facebook as well, just by searching S Marks the Spot. And listen to them on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Podbean. You're up, Bats.
And we can't forget about the epic Rise Boy. You can find them on Twitter and Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Podbean. Just search for Rise Boy.
And we have the fake broadcast, because we, as we've told you before, are the real broadcast. And maybe in Australia, mates, you don't have this little thing called eminent domain. All right. Basically, as Americans, we can go anywhere we want and claim it for ourselves.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that
It's
works.
exactly how that works. So make sure you check out our other podcasts that we do when we go full Australian on the word. We're the Brocat Podcast. We fly out to Australia once a week and record this. We can be found on Twitter at the Broadcast. That is without a C, though, because the Australian alphabet has no C. And find us on Facebook at the Broadcast Podcast, and you can find us on iTunes as well.
You might also find us in a kangaroo pouch.
Sometimes we go to the Outback Steakhouse and say, "Crikey!" because we're Australian for America.
Crikey, you overcooked my steak.
All right, well, that does it here for us today at the Gimmick Table. Thank you again for listening. Make sure you enter our contest. Get your chance to win an 8x10 autograph photograph of Cody Rhodes. And we hope you all have a good day. And until next time,
See ya.